we can get rolling. Welcome everybody to today's very exciting health seminar. As usual, being a Sunday, we meet and we talk matters health, how you can live a longer, healthier life. And today we have a very a topic that has affected many people and is affecting many, many more. For me, it is quite an emotive one because I lost a distributor to this particular disease within the last 1 week. I lost one friend. And within the last 2 months, I think I've lost 2 people to cancer. So it's a topic that we all need to take very seriously. We need to learn about it. And we need to get to know how we can prevent ourselves from getting cancer and how we can manage it just in case we get it. And today we have a very, very excited, very experienced speaker who is going to talk to us, who has been in the wellness space for more than a decade. So she's actually quite qualified to talk about this. And she's going to share it based on her experience, and she's going to give you some very good information. So without further ado, I'm going to invite Gladys to take it away. Gladys, karibu.
Wow, thank you so much, Fred. And we always thank you for bringing us here every Sunday this time. That consistency has been very fantastic and we learn a lot. I'm one of the many beneficiaries. So once again, you've heard my name. Gladys, Njura is my name. I'm very excited. And for sure, I'm really glad that I met this opportunity because I was one of those ignorant people. And unfortunately, I did not know I was that ignorant. But from the beginning, let me just give my story first. My name is Gladys, and I'm a trained teacher by profession. And after going to campus and training as a teacher, I looked for a job in the bank. I worked in cooperative bank for 5 years. And the experience was fantastic. It was great. And then after that, somebody invited me to a meeting for this company when I was still working in the bank. And the most amazing thing is that I was looking for an opportunity. I was looking for something that would make my life a little bit more spiced up, even financially. And even, I mean, just working in the bank for me, I found it a bit too traditional. And when I was invited to a meeting and I went and I met New Life and I learned about health, I really got excited. By that time, when I went to the meeting, my children were very young. My firstborn was 9 and my secondborn was, she was 3 years old. And after the presentation, like I'll do part of it, I actually realized how ignorant I was as a mother. And that really worried me because I had done so many mistakes already in their young life. And I needed to learn very quickly and correct those mistakes I had done as a mother. I will be mentioning them along the way. And I want to tell you, it's just been a fantastic journey. So for me, I'm a beneficiary of this. And I feel sad when people can't create time to learn about their health. I feel very sad because you find people who are, I mean, they have the time, they can create the time, and they need to keep learning, and they're not doing so. And that's what we do in New Life. Yeah, we are a company that is just passionate about empowering each other. We are lay people, yet we have so much information that even the doctors would be interested to hear sometimes. So that's how I started, and I can tell you I'm a product of the training. So when you hear there's a training somewhere, create time, listen, learn, and go and practice that. The more you practice, the more you understand about health and wellness. And so for me, I'm not speaking so much as an expert. I'm speaking so much as a lay person who has put themselves under the training of so many people, starting with Fred and many others. And it's been just an amazing thing for me. So welcome everyone who is on the call. We treasure that you've given your time to come and learn. And my challenge will be this: please don't stop learning. Let this be the beginning where you're very hungry to keep learning about, you'll allow me as I look for my screen. And so you have to keep learning. Yeah, you have to keep learning, because at the end of the day, there's so much to learn. And we owe so much to the world that we actually have so much to give. So today our topic is very interesting. Very, very interesting. And it's interesting because it's a topic that is stressing people so much in Kenya today. And yet some of these things are things that we can prevent. Just a minute. Okay. All right. Maybe somebody can give me a thumbs up so that I can see that we actually can see my screen. A thumbs up, please.
It was sharing a few minutes ago. It's on now. It's good.
All right. Fantastic. Yeah, so the topic is very interesting because it's one of the big diseases that are really messing us up in Africa. And we are spending more money going for treatment out there, or even within the country, money that we could actually save. Because I want to tell you with a lot of conviction, it's the will of God for us to be healthy. That's God's will. And for you to know it's God's will, He gave us everything we need in the garden and on earth. And He actually told us to subdue it. But what is happening is, as we continue becoming more learned, we sometimes do things the opposite. And when we do those things the opposite, they actually affect us. And we keep asking God, why? And the answer is within us, you know? And so that is why I really hope that everybody on the call, that we can really be serious about health. The same way you are serious about your career, because I know people are super serious about their careers. You need to be super serious about your health and the health of the people around you. And so welcome to this presentation. And as you can see there, the health is your greatest wealth. Before you analyze how much money you want, how much money you have, and all that, the first thing that you need to know that you need to take care of is your health. It's very important, so that when you have a healthy body, that will enjoy the money that we are talking about. So we are being told that the World Health Organization is saying we are losing the battle right now of the degenerative diseases, because they are projecting that, they actually projected a while ago. They are not projecting, they projected a while ago that lifestyle diseases will increase by 15% globally between 2010 and 2020. And that would be more in even Africa and other continents, Southeast Asia and Mediterranean. And the projections are, for every 4 deaths, 3 of them are caused by these diseases. And for sure, that's the truth. We know that heart disease is the #1 killer. We also have a lot of challenges with diabetes, and cancer could be #3 in that line, and many other challenges that we have, as you can see there: stroke, Alzheimer's, kidney issues. Kidney issues are becoming very common in Kenya today. I don't know about the other countries, but today we are focusing about cancer. And why we are focusing about cancer is the most amazing thing, or the most shocking thing that will shock you, is that almost everybody in the world has some cancer cells. That's shocking, right? Everybody has some cancer cells. And in those cells, it's either you're feeding them for them to continue mutating, or you're actually depriving them of the things that feed them, and so they don't mutate. And so the choice is this: we need to be very careful so that we don't give the cancer cells in our bodies a chance to keep dividing and becoming worse as the days go by. So really, cancer is a group of disease It's a group of diseases involving abnormal cell growth with the potential to invade or spread to other parts of the body. These contrasts, there's the difference between the benign cancer. A benign tumor does not mutate, does not keep multiplying and moving, and it may not be it's not potentially cancerous. So it doesn't spread. But in most cases, you find that we have cells that mutate and they develop their own network, even of the blood vessels, and they siphon nourishment away from your body's supply. And in the long run, when those things come together and form in one concentrated place as many, they cause a tumor. And there'll come a time now that tumor, it becomes a menace to your body. And at that point, even the doctors can be able to see it and tell you have cancer on this area and this area and this area. So basically what we need to do is make sure that we need to understand what do we need to do. So cancer spreads to other parts of the body. It mutates from one area to another. And it's at that point where it's mutated that sometimes even the doctor does not know what to do, because it spreads so much, even the concentration of the chemo and the treatment becomes quite difficult for them. So what do we need to know? You know, there are so many types of cancers in the world today. Can you imagine there are more than 200 types? Yeah, so many. But there are certain categories, but the most common are lung, breast, prostate, skin, colon, stomach, kidney, liver. There's that sarcoma issue, the sarcoma cancer that is very popular, leukemia, lymphoma, and brain tumors. Those are the most common. But even then, there are many, many others, and that includes even our children. You know, 1 in 10 children who have cancer survive. The others may not be able to survive. And so we need to understand all those things. What causes cancer? Sometimes it could be biological or internal factors. Age can affect gender. You know, there are those cancers that are specific to particular genders. It could be genetic deformities, you know, your skin type. You know, like the people who are albinos, they are more prone to that because their skin does not have pigmentation because of the sun. So they get more exposure of the UVA, UVB rays, UVA, and that rays of the sun, you know, the bad one. And then environmental exposure. Maybe some people work in very difficult, where they're exposed to a lot of environmental elements that could cause as factors. Occupations, some occupations are more prone to that, and some people work where there's radioactivity, asepso. Asepso is one of the things we should really avoid, and chemicals. And then, of course, lifestyle-related factors, you know, and it's the second leading cause of death globally. And so we need to be able to work on it, and it's a daily affair, you know. So we are being told that you need to learn to live a healthy lifestyle, such that even if your cancer could be genetic, at least you can be able to work on it so that it doesn't affect you as much. You can prolong the effect or even counteract the effect, because that's what God's intended for us. We can be able to work on those. So what are the factors that can help you or even affect your quality of life? One is the food. We are told you either eat food that make you or food that break you. 95% of people actually are deliberately eating food that lack nutrients. Are we part of that? We will see. Exercise. Many of us don't exercise. It's not an easy thing to continue doing exercise for the rest of your life. And as people age, they actually decrease their exercise activities, and that becomes quite a challenge for them. When you exercise, you oxygenate your body. When your body has oxygen, good oxygen, enough oxygen, the cancer cells don't operate as well in a more oxygenated body. So you need to know. Remember when you were in school, the teacher would tell you, breathe in, then out slowly. That exercise is very important for each one of us. Actually, those breathing exercises, we should do them. Rest, we do 6 to 8 hours. Very important, because stress is one of the causes of cancer. When you are prolonged to stress for a long time, your body, the immunity goes down. And when the immunity goes down, that affects you. Now, if you don't sleep enough, what happens is that your body emits some chemicals that could be potentially difficult for the body to function well, and they could actually be a cause of that mutation and everything. Then we need to drink lots of water. Toxins is one of the things that really affect us. So we have to make sure that we take a lot of water to be part of removing the toxins that are in our body. Then sunlight is so important because of the D3. That's AM sunlight that gives you the D3. D3 is a very important mineral that actually deactivates the functions of cancer cells. So D3, when you hear, it's an immune booster. And you remember even during COVID, the doctors kept saying people need D3 to counter the effect of the viruses. Yeah. And then, of course, air, exercise. You need to make sure that you're not in an area that gives you very smokes and fumes and dust. And just in case you're on this call and you exercise along the road, you are doing yourself a lot of disservice. Please don't be this kind of person who exercises along the highway, because you may be exercising to help your body, but on the flip side, you are hurting yourself because you're bringing in not oxygen, but other things that could actually potentially harm you. If you are a smoker, please stop smoking kindly, because secondary smokers, they have more effect of the smoke than the primary smokers. Another thing is our weight. Weight contributes a lot to cancer and its management. So we need to make sure we are within your BMI. You can calculate your BMI in a local way by looking at your weight in kgs, divide by your meters squared. I hope you understand that mathematics, meters squared. Whatever you get as an index, if it's below 18.5, you're underweight, that's very dangerous. If it's 18.5 to about 24.9, you're doing good. Beyond 25, you are overweight, and the organs are starting to complain slowly by slowly, whether it's in the heart area or whatever. If you go to 30, you are getting obese, and over 40, you are morbid obese. And that is very dangerous, you know. Now, one of the other things we've talked is diet. You know, the worst thing is diet is just not enough. We may be eating, when you look at these two pieces of bread, one is purely white, another one has some wholeness in it. Now, this happens to be more healthy than this. But the world today, people are eating more refined food out of ignorance. People have gone, they're engineers, they are lawyers, they are IT people, whatever it is you've done in school. But when it comes to eating, we actually eat the opposite. So we are eating food that is processed and removed just to increase the shelf life. And even they add in preservatives, they add in colors, they add in something to even whiten it. You know, all those are chemicals. And you find that now the germ could be having a problem. The germ is removed. And when the germ is removed, then we lose a lot. And even the fiber. Fiber is very critical for having a healthy lifestyle. Now, when you look at those meats, just look at the food right there. That food is really exciting. I mean, all this is, each one of them, nitamu. It's nice, looks good, it's sweet, it's appealing to the tongue and to the taste buds. But you know what? Unfortunately, these are some of the things that are causing cancer. Unfortunately. Today I was in church and the lady I sat next to, she was giving her child a sausage. And I was so sad. I felt depressed. I'm like, yeah, these are the things we think are okay for our children. They are sweet. The child will be happy. Yes, Freddie? Fred?
Gladys, you're breaking off and you're hanging.
Okay. What I need to do, just give me a minute.
I don't know if it's your network.
Okay. Sorry, let me check my network, guys. Give me a minute. I can actually change to my MBs. Sorry, I'm really sorry about that. Okay. Am I better, Fred? All right, so we proceed. We proceed. Okay.
Okay.
All right, that's where we were. This food is very appealing to us. So we need to be very careful. And as I was telling you earlier, this is what I used to feed my children with. All the varieties of all these things you can see on a daily basis. That was our lifestyle. And when I understood this, I knew that I needed to do something about it. So just look, even what is the most amazing is even the way the pregnant women, the women who are yet to get pregnant, they are about to, or they are pregnant. The quality of food you give your child is very important from the onset, right from conception. And the first 1,000 days are very, very critical. And so because of changing our lifestyle, then you find that the United States Department of Agriculture, the World Health Organization, the National Cancer Institute, they are saying we need to eat a lot of whole grains. Whole grains are the things that have not been removed anything right from the shamba, not going to the factory. And if they do, you don't remove anything, you take it as it is. Fruits and vegetables. Now, this is where the thing is. Remember, we are told fruits are the protective. They protect you, they build your immunity. Cancer is an autoimmune disease. When your immunity is low, it strikes you more. So we need lots of fruits and vegetables, and we need a minimum of 6, going all the way to about 15. Now, when it comes to the fruits and vegetables, I'm going to mention some terminologies that Fred can put on the screen, or Anga, you can do this for me. We have carotenoids. Carotenoids are the fruits and vegetables that take care of the oily parts of your body. And they can boost your immunity and increase your T killer cells, the cells that fight anything that is not worthwhile in the body, including the cancer cells. Then we have the flavonoids. The flavonoids, they take care of the watery parts of the body. And the cruciferas. The cruciferas take care of the hormonal parts of the body. So when you're doing your shopping, you must make sure you have carotenoids, you have flavonoids, you have cruciferas. But even the farming that we do affects the quality of what we are getting in the farm. So that is something else you need to put at the back of your mind. Then all the other proteins, the best are the cereals, the ones that come from the soil. They are more alkaline, and an alkaline environment protects you from cancer. And the other ones which are more of the animal-based, especially the ones that are not white meats, they should be eaten sparingly. I'm not saying they are bad, they are good, but please don't overindulge in them. If it's meat, maybe you take twice a week, something like that. And then you add more of the plant-based. Now, the animal-based ones, they make your body acidic. An acidic environment is an environment for cancer to grow, the cells, and even for it to even become worse as the days go by. What about fats and sugars? Oh my goodness. These are the ones you take only a spoon each per day. 1 spoon of sugar, 1 spoon of oil, because these ones, they also cause problems. But now we've gone into the Western diet, where everything we eat is now refined. If all our whole grains are refined, then they become sugars. And sugars eventually are converted into fat. Because when you have a lot of sugar, you're supposed to go into a coma. The body can't handle too much sugar. So the best way they have to handle it is to make the sugar, to turn it into fat. But it also affects, you remember the acidity and the alkaline? So this graph here, these foods make your body acidic. And that becomes a big one when it comes to those challenges we are talking about. Now, what should we do? These are some of the things you need to avoid. And maybe if you have a phone, you can take a screenshot. You need to avoid excessive intake of animal proteins. We've talked about that. They cause breast, colon, prostate, kidney, all those crazy cancers. So those red meats we've talked about, please try to avoid them. And more so, putting them under the high temperatures. When we grill them, we choma them, you know, they even make it worse. Then excessive fat intake is not good. Excessive refined carbohydrates and sugars, we've seen that. Alcohol, smoking, stress. Please, if you are stressed, find a way to work on it. Always find a way to work on it. It's very, very important. Sorry about that. I was trying to screenshot this. Beta carotenes, vitamin Bs, Cs, vitamin E, all those things you can see there. They are very important for eating healing foods, or enzyme, cruciferous, flavonoids, we've talked about that, carotenoids, eating food that has Friedrich bacteria, the acidophilus, and then of course, other things like the curry powder, turmeric, ginger, cayenne, all those things are very good. So those are things that help us prevent disease generally, including what we are talking about today. Now, let's talk about prevention. You know, out there are many people who are willing to stand in the gap. And we have scientists all over the world who have committed themselves to this as their lifelong mission. And that's where Neolife comes in. And Neolife works in conjunction with all the organizations, USDA, NCA, United States Department of Cancer, the Diabetes Association. And we have scientists who don't sleep. They are always working so that we can be able to understand, not just to formulate products, but to teach us how to live a healthier life. I tell people, if you can take a soda, if you can take something not so healthy for you, then you need to be open to take something that can prevent or even nourish yourself better. So what we are talking about is the wellness industry. We are in a company that has decided that they will empower each and everybody who is willing to listen so that they can learn more about their health. So we started out there in 1958 because this gentleman here, he suffered very bad asthma as a child. And the information we have given you, plus what I'm about to give you, changed his life trajectory for the best. Since he was a young child, he had bad asthma. The mom had been told he can go anytime. You know, when you're told your child now, they can die anytime. And then a friend tells them, no, there's hope. There's hope in eating better. There's hope in bridging the gap where we have our gaps in our diet. And she did that. And so when Jerry became 19 and he understood what actually took care of his asthma, he decided this would be his life mission. So welcome to Neolife. And in Neolife, we are backed up by a scientific advisory board. These are guys who are seriously respected in the world out there. They are nutritionists. They are researchers in product formulation. They are food scientists. They are biochemists. And all these people are experts. Some are experts in nutrition for the sports, for the skin, for the environment, because we just don't look at the body. Ours is totally wholesome. And Dr. Arthur Fast, who founded the Scientific Advisory Board, he was the first guy to come up with oral chemotherapy. And he was the first guy to get a Nobel Prize winner for toxicology. You know toxins? Because toxins play a lot of havoc in our system. So you don't have to worry. These guys have got you covered. It's been 64 years and counting of product formulation, teaching people research, partnerships, and proving that it works. Actually, our products have a money-back guarantee. And that's why we talk about prevention, not curative. So what happens is that now, when it comes to the taking care of our body, remember we talked about our body and what we need to do. Our bodies are made up of cells. And these cells, every day, it's your responsibility to feed them with whole grains. Whole grains have some oils called lipids and sterols to make sure that your cells are well taken care of. As you can see this cell here, your cells on a daily basis must be nourished by the lipids and sterols for the nutrition to come in and the waste to go out. But when you eat refined food, over time, your cells lose that. They lose the elasticity, they lose the food that feeds them, and eventually they start becoming sick cells. When your cell is sick, like you can see here, nutrition doesn't come in as it should, and the waste doesn't go out as it should. Now, Neolife was the first company and the only company to date to formulate a product for cellular nutrition. Your cells are critical, and everybody on this call, I am telling you, and this is a fact, you need 3NN. For our children, they need the Vita Squares. I find people saying, oh, I can't take those things. I can't take those, I can't swallow those things. But remember, pregnant women are always given supplements by the doctor because the doctor knows how important it is for them to have the best of the nutrition for themselves and the fetus. Young children are always given multivitamins by the doctor, especially because their immunity is very low. And what we are saying is that is the gap that we are lacking as human beings. We are not giving our bodies supplements to bridge the gap that we've seen that we have in our eating habits. And just in case you came late, please get to understand from the person who invited you the wellness way of eating so that you know where your gaps are. So 3NN is critical for prevention of any disease, including cancer, and for even maintenance. Because even if you're sick, you need to produce better cells that are healthier. The dead cells will be taken care of. If you're eating right, they will be destroyed by the body, the T killer cells and all the fighting cells, and you have newer cells that are healthy. So 3NN is the founding base for our children. Please write somewhere we have Vita Squares. Very, very important. I give my children, just a minute. I give my children the Vita Squares and I gave them the Vita Squares when they were young. I took 3NN from the onset. And for the last 21 years, I have been very vibrant, very energetic, and I really thank God for that. When I was in the bank, I was very tired, very, very tired. Now, I mentioned this, just a minute. I mentioned these fruits when we were talking. I talked about carotenoids. I talked about the flavonoids and the cruciferas. All these are made from foods. Which foods are those? Tomatoes and apples and apricots and spinach. And when you ask for information, you'll understand all these things. So this is not medication. This is supplementation with the foods that God created for us to fight disease and maintain disease. And so carotenoid will boost your immunity by 37% in exactly 20 days. If you want to prevent yourself from cancer and even eye challenges, there are people who get eye challenges, carotenoid does the works for you. For our children, we have the VitaGuard because we need to prevent, our children are eating a lot of junk. We need to prevent that and give them the fighting vitamins early on in life. The flavonoids, we talked about them, and the cruciferas. So these three are very critical. And Neolife puts them in one single pack called Phyto Defense. You can buy them in singles. You can buy them as a pack of Phyto Defense. And I want to tell you, these products do magic. They do. I was with a friend of mine in Nakuru yesterday. She's on the call, but she couldn't give her testimony. She's called Sylvia Buibo. Sylvia had a challenge. And she met this opportunity when she had cancer of the breast. She had gone through all the chemos, 8 of them, all the radiotherapy sessions, and she met Neolife and took Phyto Defense and other products. Today, she's a shining star. And we thank God, we give God all the glory. Now, Moving on, we need to know that because cancers are of different types, we need to have what we call hormonal imbalance for women. Any girl who begins eating not too well from young age, many of them have what we call hormonal imbalance. So if you find somebody has PMS, right from the onset, that's an indication that they have hormonal imbalance. And if it's not handled, they could even become infertile. Their fertility could go down. And of course, as women, we go by, we are having breast cancer, cervical cancer, ovarian cancers, all those cancers that potentially could be aggravated because of our hormonal issues. Feminine herbal is very critical, and you can read more about it, what it has, and it maintains us so well so that you don't even go into menopause in a crazy way, and you maintain, and even the hormonal cancers are prevented. For the men are getting what we call prostate enlargement. It could be carcinogenic, it could be cancerous, it could be benign. But even if it's benign, as long as you have a growth, it actually messes up with your body. And so masculine herbal prevents that, and it will give you other added advantages of performance and all that kind of thing. So for the men who are maybe 30 and above, or even we have some men who are in their 20s who are getting prostate enlargement, this is a sure product that will help you. Other additions, omega-3, if you read a lot about omega, there's a doctor in anti-aging in Mexico called Dr. Gonzalez. Dr. Gonzalez says that omega oils are potential for maintaining us so that we don't get tumors and growths in the body. If your body has sufficient fish oils, which we call omega, I'm not talking of cod liver oil, I'm using the word omega oils, very important. Neolife has an omega oil that has the entire family of 8, the essential fatty acids. So omega is very important for each one of us, right from when you're conceived up to when you leave the world. So don't just buy fish oil for your children. We also need it. And zinc is very important for men. You know, for the prostate gland, these products, they work magic. The 3 of them, as you can see there, plus of course the TNN we saw out there, very, very important. Then of course, if you have weight, remember we talked about you need to cut your weight. We have Neolife Shake. And again, if somebody is sick cancer already, most of them, they are not having the appetite. They have sores in their mouth due to the chemo. And so they need something to nourish them. So this shake is very important. If you go to hospitals, you realize that even those people who are fed on tubes, they are fed with such a shake, you know, that is a whole meal in itself. It has vitamins, minerals, it has the proteins. They are all over in the hospitals. So this is nothing new. This is very good nutrition for somebody who is already going through cancer. And then CoQ10, because of taking care of your cell at the mitochondria. I know we did biology. Mitochondria, where your cells, they need to produce energy and they are healthy at the cell level together with the TNN. You can read more information about CoQ10 for yourself. It supports very many things. And many people who are on medication, already have taken a lot of medication, even the treatment of cancer. CoQ10 will help you a great deal because of that effect of the medication. And then garlic allium is a natural antibiotic. Most people who have already cancer, they get a lot of attacks, autoimmune attacks. And those attacks are not good. And you can't keep taking antibiotics because they also mess up with your digestive system. So garlic is a sure thing. It's a complex of chives, onions, garlic, and leeks. And it in itself, it is fantastic, will not give you a bad taste, you know, in the mouth. And it will do its work right where it should, at the small intestines. That's where it goes there and does its work in the right way. Now, once maybe you know somebody diagnosed with cancer and they've gone through the treatment of cancer, maybe they've even gone 6 months after the treatment. A product they need to use is Betagard. Betagard is a detox. It will help you detoxify all the chemicals that are in the system that need to go. Because most cancer cases, they don't die because of the cancer itself. It's the after effect of the cancer. Their immunity is low. And the challenge is all those challenges that, or they get another infection that comes and hits them. So BetterGuard will help boost your immunity as well as remove the toxins. And BetterGuard is for all of us here. Remember, we all have toxins. Toxins are potential free radicals. And once free radicals mess with your cell, those cells can become carcinogenic. So it's not just for the people who are sick, it's for us. And every year, everybody needs to go through a detox program. We are in that era where whatever we eat cannot detoxify us 100%. So thank you so much, guys, for being here with me. As you can see there, your health is your prerogative. Yani, maisha yako, afya yako, ni jukumu yako. Si jukumu ya daktari. And we appreciate the doctors. They work so hard. They read so hard. But you know, the ratio of doctors to the people they treat is so big. Like in Kenya, one doctor is to, I think, 1,000 or 10,000 people. And that's why people are always perishing. But if we took charge, even us as citizens, and we decided to become healthier, and we spread the gospel of health, and we live it, because it's not a one-day thing, then we leave a healthier legacy. And when we are healthy and we make money, we enjoy life. And when you are in your 90s, you can actually go to the coasts, put on your shades, and relax in the sun and say, I have lived a good life. I have lived a good life. And you thank God for it. So please, let's look at that. The health, eat green, exercise, be beautiful, and all those kind of things that we need to do. So in short, I want to finish and say, you know, in your life, it's a journey. It's a journey of bringing people closer so that they learn more, because out there, not many organizations will take the time to treat you on every aspect of your body, from head to toe, your circulatory system, your respiratory system. We do all those from time to time so that those who have challenges in all those areas can be taken care of. But above that, we do not want, when you need the products, we don't want you to wonder, where will I get them? We want you to save money. So how do you save money? We encourage you to partner with Neolife, just like us, and we start taking this journey of educating people and taking supplements that bridge the gap that we have, and we start getting more testimonies and moving on. Now, here I'll also talk about the detergents. You know, when we have an environment where you use a lot of chemicals, if you're on this call and you make your own soap from chemicals, please stop today. It's not worth it. You're trying to save money, but at the end of the day, you are endangering the people around you, because those detergents that are done behind the houses, they have a lot of chemicals. You inhale those fumes, you touch them, and all that goes into the body, and eventually you have a challenge. So we need detergents that can prevent us from harm, and we have what we call eco-friendly detergents. We have LDC for cleaning your fruits and vegetables. They have a lot of chemicals. They have a lot of dirt. That gets into our system. They can be potential contributors of the topic of today. We have Super 10. It will do all the work for you without potentially, and the sprays we use in the toilet. You know, I don't want to mention brands, but all that spraying of in the toilet all the time, those things get into your system, they affect you as a person. And so we are saying we have products that are easy to use, whether it's for cleaning the house, cleaning the carpet, cleaning your car, washing your clothes. We have them. There are many. Even for farming, we have a farm product that is organic, and it will help your crops become better. It will heal your soil, and it will help your plants absorb more nutrients, because we've seen we have gaps, because even our farming is having a challenge. And then we have a skincare. Many cancers also are caused by the skincare you use. Remember, your skin is a breathing organ. So whatever you are using, you need to make sure it's off alcohol. It's all things like mercury, parabens, all those things that could be harmful. And many people buy skincare when they are ignorant about these things, you know. And even when you use the cosmetics that we use as ladies, you need to have a product that can clean them properly. Because if you're not cleaning them, they are being left on the skin and they also affect you because that's a breathing organ. So the company tells you just partner with us. We will give you information. We will be by your side, taking the journey with your loved one for as long as, and you buy the products at a cheaper price. But beyond the products, you live a life that is healthy. Remember, life is a habit. And the people you hang around with, your associations. So we are telling you, join this positive community, and you're going to find you change even the people around you. And tomorrow you're the one to come and teach us and give us a testimony. So you can come and use the product, share products with your friends. Don't shy away. People are always selling things out there that are not even useful. They're even harmful. Don't shy away. Tell people about our products. They are life-changing. And then the people who want to do the business, we will meet tomorrow in the evening, 8 to 9, same link. Now we tell you how the business works so that you can make money. There's nothing wrong in making money. Nothing, because when you have this money, you buy better food, you can buy your supplements, you can take care of your parents. You know, our parents, many of them depend on us. Otherwise, thank you so much, guys. I'm this person who is feeling very honored being your presenter today. I'm completely honored, and I hope we can start and we can continue with this journey. And tomorrow, we are telling you, take the mission of Neolife seriously, helping people to become healthy. We will help the world to become healthier and a happier place. So thank you so much, guys. Over to you, Fred. You can wrap it up for us. Thank you for joining us, and God bless.
Thank you so much, Gladys. That was powerful, powerful. A lot of stuff. I was spellbound by your presentation. It was quite amazing. And guys, I've really gotten it so nicely. So like Gladys says, that is the wrap. This video will be available later today. You can look at it. You can share it with a friend, a neighbor, and let us change people's lives. If you're looking at the business side of it, let's meet tomorrow at 8 o'clock, where we'll be able to just catch up and get to show you what the business is all about. Next week, we'll be back again, and we'll be talking about a different aspect of health. I will welcome you back. And this time round, come with a friend. So we were at 220 people, 222 people, which is better than we were last week. So next week, let's take the challenge. Get 2 or 3 friends on board. Let us study health together. Let us make a positive difference in people's lives, and you'll be blessed. And I tell you, when you share this information with somebody and it changes their lives, hata kwa Mwenyezi Mungu anakuwekea marks kidogo kidogo pale. So I'm happy, I'm excited. That was a powerful presentation, Gladys. Thank you so much again. Thank you all. See you next week on Sunday. And for those who are coming for the business session, let's meet tomorrow in the evening at 8 o'clock. Same link where Pascal is going to share with us. Thank you and goodbye.